Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report, and happy St. Patrick's Day, lads and lasses. We've got a great show in store for you, and I do want to go ahead and preface this and apologize to, I think, probably between 19 and 22 different other LMU athletic sports, if that's not redundant. Tonight is specifically dedicated to Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball. But I do not want to slight anybody. The LMU tennis teams have been on a run that has just been unequal. I think they've won their last 4 or 5 consecutive matches. The lacrosse teams are in position to do some things. Both have had some pretty good success here in the early season. I talked to Coach Kuhn yesterday. Coach Karasi, I haven't had the opportunity yet. Of course, we've got baseball going on. They have just been tearing up the South Atlantic Conference slate. They've won 3 consecutive series. And then you've got softball that picked up a big sweep yesterday over all their competition in West Virginia. All that, but tonight it's basketball, and we'll be back to talk about it right after this.
Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro has your fresh interest at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner you're after, choose from a wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches that are all made specifically to order. Serving a crowd, Subway also has sandwich planners, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Be it dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. 368 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro. If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Well, folks, we do have a lot of other sports that take place on a daily basis here at Lincoln Memorial University. I didn't want to leave out golf, and of course, men's and women's track and field a little while ago. They too are involved in their spring schedules. But for the men's basketball team, Josh Schertz and his Railsplitters recently captured the 2016 NCAA Southeast Region Championship right here in the Tex Turner Arena in front of an enormous home crowd. And it was in big fashion with their 3rd win of the year over the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne University, 103-80 the final. And, Coach, for me personally, it's been nearly 40 years since an LMU men's basketball team made this deep a run into a national tournament.
Yeah, it's it's been an incredible year. We talked about as going to this tournament. It was a great season, and it can't be a special season unless you perform in the NCAA tournament. And what a weekend! Not only to win 3 games, but to win them by an average of 26 points a game. To perform the way these guys did on their home floor and against 3 really quality opponents was just remarkable. Each game I thought we played better than the previous, and just a magical night. It would be great to clinch an Elite 8 berth anywhere and win a region anywhere, but no better place to do it than on our home floor. Certainly enhanced what was already a very special night.
You have said for many, many weeks now that this team seems to really bring it to the table, the bigger, the magnitude of the game, the bigger the game. For a lot of LMU fans going into Tuesday night's championship game, there was a lot of, a lot of jitters because this team took us to 4 overtimes at their place. They led us by 18 in the first half here in Harrogate when we played here in regular season play. And so the question was, would we come in dialed in? And I think about a half second into the game, there was no question this team was as dialed in as it gets.
Yeah, we knew that was, coming into the field, we had played the majority of the teams that were in the Southeast region, because obviously 4 of the teams, including us, were from the SAC, and then we'd already played King. So, 4 of the 7 teams we'd already played. We had a good feel. We knew out of all the teams in the field, Lenoir-Rhyne was our most difficult matchup. They gave us the most problems in terms of how they played, and obviously both games with them were really, really tough. But I could tell in shoot around, there's no guarantees, but I could tell in shoot around the day before, or the day of, I'm sorry, that we were locked in. I actually stopped shoot around a little bit early, and I just told them, I said, hey, you guys are ready, man. There's we come out and play with this amount of energy, this amount of focus, we're not going to get beat. And that to me was, was where we were. We stepped on the floor, and had a buddy of mine tell me he walked in right as the tip was going up, and by the time he had gotten to his seat, it was 8-0. And we came out and with great energy, great focus. I was really proud of these guys. It was a tremendous night. And again, we talked about this in the press conference. Some people are suffocated by pressure and by challenges. Other people are inspired by them. This group is certainly inspired by all the bigger the challenge, the higher the level of pressure, the better they play.
Focus has obviously been a big key factor for this team all year long, and I had the opportunity to talk with former Railsplitter Jeff Little the other night, who played for Lincoln Memorial for a couple of years, and then before that played at Ashland University. While he was at Ashland, they went to the Elite Eight many years ago, and I think played against North Alabama in that particular event. His statement to me was that while focus is a mandatory thing, it's very hard when you get down there on that national stage, because you're in the limelight, you're in a much bigger setting. They wine and dine you, so to speak, for the tournament, and it's kind of a circus type atmosphere, so it's really hard sometimes to stay dialed in.
I think that that's certainly the case. One thing I'm going to do is reach out to a couple of my friends. I've got a couple of great friends, Lenny Acuff at Alabama Huntsville, Tommy Ryan at Eckerd, who have been head coaches in multiple Elite Eights. And we're going to sit down and talk today, as I am with Joey Higginbotham out of Mount Olive, who's a good friend who whipped us last year to get to the Elite Eight. And I'm going to try to, certainly get perspective about them, so I know kind of where we are and things to expect and how to help our team best navigate it, because obviously, we haven't been there before. So looking forward to talking to those guys. That'll give me a feel for what we can expect and pitfalls maybe they encountered and things they would do differently if they were going back.
We were watching footage from championship round on Tuesday night, and Coach, I know that only one other LMU team has been this deep into the national tournament. That was back in the days of the NAI, and I was fortunate enough to have L.J. Kilby in attendance with me calling color on Tuesday night's game, and obviously he was the assistant coach on the team that went to the NAI Final Four. When you get to this stage of the game, I mean, you're talking about 320 teams approximately start the season with the same goal, and that's to have an opportunity to play for a national championship, and now we're down to 8. Obviously, these 8 are the elite group, and that's why it's called just that. It's the equivalent of the NCAA Division I Final Four.
Absolutely. It's so difficult to win a regional title. It's such a great experience. It's one that I told those guys, and I think it's the same for a lot of the people, the fans, and et cetera. It's a night they'll remember the rest of their lives, and I want them. We gave them off yesterday, and we gave them off today because I told them, I said, I don't want you to just move on. There's a lot of people, I don't get not that caught up in the semantics of we got to forget what happened. I want them to really enjoy what happened, celebrate for a couple days, take a couple days away from basketball. And then we got to turn the page. We come back to work on Friday. But certainly when you think about how many great teams there are out there and that there's only 8 left playing and you're certainly in position to go compete for a national championship, it's the ultimate goal. People have told, I've discussed this with you. People say, oh, well, your goal is to make the Elite Eight. And I would never, you have one goal when you start in August, and that's to win a national championship. Anything else besides that, you're putting a ceiling on your team, and why would you put a ceiling on a group? So I told them, and I think they feel the same way. We're extremely happy with what we accomplished, but no one in that locker room is satisfied. We all think we're certainly good enough to win a national title, But I'm sure the other 7 teams that are walking into Frisco, Texas feel the same way. And as you know, you got the best out there. I think you got all 8 of the teams are nationally ranked and in some capacity, and a lot of them are in the top 10 in the country. So it's going to be a who's who when we're out there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, no South Atlantic Conference team has ever made it past the first round of the Elite Eight, the quarterfinals, and that was Jason Taylor and Anderson a few years ago.
Yeah, they got beat in the quarterfinals, and that's the only time. So yeah, this will be we'll try to go the furthest, and and I think, like I said, we have a team certainly that is capable, but certainly starting with Barry and Fortune Advance, whoever we play after that, it's going to be a brutal run. Whoever the last team standing is going to have a heck of a 4-day run right there in Frisco.
Okay, folks, I've had a lot of phone calls over the last 24 hours about possibly watching video of the quarterfinals and the semifinal round. Of course, CBS Sports will have Saturday's championship game, and that'll be nationally televised. Up until today, we were under the impression there was no video to be had, but now we're being told through Roy Pickrell, the chairman of the committee at Kentucky Wesleyan College, that in fact you can catch the quarterfinal round via streaming video on NCAA.com. You'll have to go obviously to the Division II part of that website, and you can watch the quarterfinal round play. I'll also have audio coverage of that via WLW 91.3 FM and 913thegap.com, beginning with pregame at 12:30 Eastern Time. That would be 11:30 Central. And then, of course, tip-off at 1 o'clock, so a special half-hour pregame show. And I'll be talking with some of the LMU assistant coaches, and we'll be talking about the road to the Elite Eight and how they got here and some of the things that had to happen in order for them to get into the quarterfinals of the 2016 National Tournament. Coach, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got some video footage of the post-game celebration on Tuesday night after the championship. I want to talk to you about the road for some of the individuals to get here. I mean, guys like Jarrell Simmons, Jalen Steele, Emmanuel Terry, Luquan Choice, etc. Just some fantastic backstories. We want to talk about that a little bit coming up in the next segment. Folks, want to remind you that you can keep up to date on all the details with the 2016 NCAA tournament, along with all the other LMU athletic sports and how they're doing by pulling up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. That's the address right behind me. Obviously, Scott Erland, Bill Porter, Joe Swanson, and the whole staff down there do a great job with the athletics website. Again, you'll find all the latest scores, facts, statistics, player profiles, roster schedules, news releases, video, photographs, anything you want, www.lmurailsplitters.com. All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, more with Josh Schertz as the Railsplitters prepare for the road to Texas. It's Tex to Texas, and LMU will be there with 7 of the other best teams in Division II men's basketball. Back right after this.
Established in 1982, Dixie Roofing Incorporated of La Follette has been the industry's leader in commercial roofing throughout Knoxville, Tennessee, and surrounding counties for more than 30 years. From medical facilities to office buildings and educational institutions, Dixie Roofing has the experience, expertise, equipment, and know-how to handle roofing needs of any commercial structure, big or small. Dixie Roofing is also on the web at www.dixieroofing.com. Dixie Roofing Incorporated.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing. I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Railsplitter Athletics Report. Of course, Josh Schertz and his team will depart for the state of Texas, the Big TX, on Sunday, and they'll go down there in preparation for Wednesday's quarterfinal round with Barry University. That'll be the opening game. It's 1 seed versus 8. Barry University very capable out of the Sunshine Conference and knocked off some very good teams to get into the Elite Eight this year. Coach, for us, obviously it's a monumental time. It's a milestone. A lot of people looking at this one as a very special season, and rightly so. But for the individuals on this team, obviously there's been a lot of sacrifices to get to this point. Guys like Jalen Steele, who's had a couple of knee injuries, transferred from Mississippi State, finally getting his due as to what he's been seeking as a college player. Jarrell Simmons, who started his collegiate career as a walk-on, we've talked about that many times, comes in, gets a scholarship from you after he transfers to LMU by virtue of his efforts here. Emmanuel Terry, a guy who really passed a lot of schools that really are looking at him now saying, wow, maybe we should have recruited this guy, maybe we should have signed him. Luquan Choice, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, well, when you have the success we've had, there's one, the key ingredients, the people, and the talent and the character of the individuals involved. You look at a guy like Jalen Steele, goes to Mississippi State, has a good career there. It ends sad for him. He had a bunch of injuries and was a double-figure scorer for him, and got sideways with the coaching change with Rick Ray. And long story short, he winds up, having a year left and wants to go Division, has to go Division II. And when we talked, what we talked about was trying to bring him in to a place where he could compete for a championship, graduate in a year, and go on and play professionally. And you look at where he is now, very rarely do things work out the way you hope, the way they're planned. And for him, he has a great chance to do all three. He's won 3 championships here this year. He's Southeast Region MVP. He's going to be a professional basketball player, and he's on track to walk in May. So, and then you look at a guy like Jarrell Simmons, who, again, is a walk-on at Brevard, goes in, asks for a scholarship after his sophomore year. They tell him no, they're going to save those for some other guys, and he decides, emails, reaches out, just luck of recruiting, reaches out, wants to transfer here. Agrees to pay his way for a year if we'd scholarship him for 2, which I liked him as a player, thought that was a no-brainer, and after meeting with him, loved him as a kid, and he's far exceeded my wildest dreams. And then you got guys like Luquan Choice and Emmanuel Terry that come out of high school, and sometimes in recruiting people miss the boat, and they definitely missed the boat with those 2 guys. Those 2 guys are not only could play Division I, but could really play at any level of Division I. Both those guys are going to be outstanding pros, and obviously still have eligibility here at LMU, so we're excited about the future. Those 2 guys are certainly, along with guys like Dorian Pinson, the anchor for the teams that will move forward.
Yeah, I mean, and then too, it's almost, don't misunderstand me, folks, it's almost comical because you got guys like Dave Davis, Lee Burgess, I think Jason Taylor was one down there at a time when he was still at Anderson, that are probably just shaking their head, kicking themselves in the rear end because so many players have come right out of their back door right to the LMU program, to Josh Schertz fold, in Luquan Choice, Curtis Webb, you got Dorian Pinson. All of these guys have come from right there in that area, and they've gone past these South Atlantic Conference schools to get to LMU. So just goes to show you that recruiting is obviously a key, and how you do that, how you stay with it. Being diligent is absolutely a necessity in getting these guys and selling this university, selling this program, and then not only that, but also proving that you're going to do what you say. Coach, this program has almost become a mirror image of the Kentucky program, with the exception that a lot of guys that go through this program get their degrees, go on to play professionally overseas, whereas Kentucky is a one-and-done situation, go on to play pros.
Yeah, it's certainly, we love the fact that our guys get a chance to play professionally. Lorenzo was just named this week, Player of the Week over there in Eurobasket.com, Player of the Week, and is leading his team as a rookie in scoring and assists, and having a great rookie season. KP's having a great rookie season. Vinny's doing well. As we've talked about, 7 pros in a 5-year window, and I think we'll have at least 2, maybe 3 guys that'll go on and play professionally off this year's team. So that's a big sell when you get in. The difference, as you said, between us and Kentucky is our guys, stay 4 or 5 years, and what we preach to them is you'll play in a pro-style system, which will help you, one, to have a chance to play, and then also help your acclimation when you get over there. And then the second thing we really talk about is player development, that we're going to, that's a central theme in our program, is recruiting the best players we can, and then doing the best job that we can in terms of helping those guys develop. And we tell them no one will spend more time with you on the floor in terms of individual instruction improvement than we will.
All right, Coach, we're going to do something a little different right now. Tuesday night after the game, obviously it was a huge celebration in the Tex Turner Arena. I want to roll that footage right now, let Coach watch that, and we'll come back and get his comments right after this. Let's take a look at the footage. Well, I tell you, Josh, obviously, that's primarily focused on the team, but I think you can see the excitement in the student body's faces. We still have so much more that was aired on Tuesday night with fans and players that were commenting on the mic, and I beg your pardon, Matt Green, the athletic director. Just a tremendously celebratory night. Yeah,
it was remarkable. I'm looking forward to watching that when all this is over. Certainly, what a great night. And as a coach, I think the coolest thing is when you see the unbridled joy of the players and the people, and how much I got a chance to see Dr. DeBusk and how emotional he was, and Gary Burchett and all, how much it means, Sammy Mars. I mean, how much it means to those people that have been around here and helped for 8 years. Fans, I had a fan come up to me that, used to come to games with his dad. His dad had passed away before the season, and he was, telling me that he'd been coming for years and how much, joy our program brought his dad. I met another fan after the game who's been diagnosed with cancer, and how, they said that the program and watching these guys play have really brought a lot of joy to them. So you don't even you know, it's just, it was overwhelming. But the coolest thing as a coach is to see the unbridled joy in the players and the fans and just you know, how much it means to everybody. And as a coach, I think you always have that big picture perspective, because you don't score a point, you don't get a rebound. It's not really about you, it's about, you know, everybody else, and that's how it should be.
Well, obviously it was a very festive night, and you know, if we've got highlights that are going to be shown, I'm sure, throughout the rest of the year in regard to that, regardless of what happens in Texas. We're going to close this part of the segment out, and when we come back, I'm going to keep Josh on set with us, and we're going to let him close the show out with us. We'll tell you all about Frisco. Folks, obviously, it's 14 and a half hours from here. We know that it's not realistic for everybody to make that trip, but you can still support by watching it online. We'll tell you again about that. We're going to tell you where you can find the link for the broadcast. We'll tell you about the audio broadcast that I'll be doing and much more, and what times those will be taking place, a lot of the other teams in the league. But we're going to take a brief time out. When we come back, we'll close things out for tonight's Railsplitter Athletics Report. Stay with us.
It's the Old Town Grill. The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special. It's the OTG. The OTG is the place to be.
Join the Vive Broadband TV revolution. Vive gives you the freedom to choose, with loads of new channels like Up TV, The Hub, The Blaze, and Cubo. Vive's Watch TV Everywhere feature gives you the freedom to watch participating channels, just about anywhere, anytime, on any device. And Vive Broadband Speed gives you the freedom to power internet TV services like Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, and Google Chromecast. Join the TV revolution at vivebroadband.com.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Folks, it all starts on, for you, not for Josh and his team, starts on Sunday when they leave, but it all starts on Wednesday. Let's take a look at the bracket here. We'll get things out. We've got about a minute left. Coach, you're going to open up against Berry. There you got West Liberty and Stonehill, Augustana and Tarleton State, Western Oregon, and Saginaw Valley State. No weak sisters in this tournament.
No, I don't know how Barry's the 8. I had no idea how they got reseeded 8, but they're, you know, elite. It's going to be a heck of a field. There's no gimmies in that one. You better be ready to play. It's going to be unbelievable, but it should be this time of year. The fact that it's so challenging is what makes it so special.
Obviously, you guys are departing on Sunday. For you, it's going to be a quick trip down there on a flight, and then you're going to get into hopefully a routine and kind of get them settled in. We got 10 seconds left. Coach, I want to congratulate you again on making the tournament. Best of luck this week, and we look forward to hopefully you bringing home the hardware.
Let's do it. See you guys in Texas. See you on Wednesday.
All right, thanks. You've been watching the Railsplitter Athletics Report.